This is the Life Project. I'm Christie. Remember as a kid you would hear these words? Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. And so when I hear it, I usually ask, since when? Where is that ever true? Look, let me tell you, the devil, his great auntie, and the person that waxes her back here are all a lie if you believe for 1 minute that negative words cannot be hurtful. To be fair and honest, your opinion of yourself is going to be one of the biggest predictors of the value of your existence on this planet. But the way that others see you is also important, especially when that opinion becomes a consistent societal theme that is institutionalized and perpetuated in various aspects of your life. Recent headlines have given us yet another glaring example of this, and we are once again confronted with the angry black woman stereotype. Now, there are those who say, okay, I can see why this is annoying. No one likes being called angry, even if they are, and especially if they're not. But it's just words. What's the big deal? And that's my point. Those words can stigmatize, and they can be as powerful only as much as the systems that create them are. The systems that perpetuate them and consciously or unconsciously use them as a justification to subjugate, to disenfranchise, and to socially promulgate perceived inferiority. So if you're looking at it from a prima facie black and white perspective, being called angry may not seem that bad. But from the perspective of what this type of public reduction and distilling of personhood does to the collective identity of black women, it is a gargantuan, colossal sized deal. Because not only does the label seek to generalize and dehumanize the emotions of an entire demographic of people who may or may not be angry or otherwise emotive about any range of topics, it seeks to invalidate that woman's right, a black woman's right, to be angry, if she even is. Not validating her right to have any emotion she feels, and endowing with that validation the trust that there must be a justifiable reason for the anger, relegates her to a substatus that necessitates the affirmation of another to feel what she feels, if anything at all. Now, this becomes far less of a big deal when a black woman who expresses dissent or creates art that expresses dissent is presumed for her emotional complexity and sophistication to be worthy of the analysis that maybe, just maybe, a more accurate and nuanced term than angry may be apropos. For example, specific, straightforward, frustrated, trapped, tired, pointed. When this and other terms are used, understand that it does have the potential to stigmatize, to invalidate. It does say that you, black women, are not worthy of the time to determine the derivation of your anger. And if you, in fact, have a reason to be angry, or if my opinion even matters. It says it is easier to attach a label and explain away any responsibility of engaging in meaningful, responsive action, and in so doing, confronting any culpability that I may have in why you're angry. It's easier to believe that anger is an inherent defect in my racial identity and not your perception of a reaction developed and honed in a patriarchal, racially tiered system that assumes malignancy in my personhood by virtue of my race and my gender, and thereby undervalues, if not completely ignores, my consistent and constant contribution to the American project. It must be far more comforting to position women who look like me as the embodiment of the sapphire trope, whose expressions can be ignored and silenced by virtue of her irrational and irrelevant anger. so you don't have to address the forced silence and muting of women that look like you. But even with all of this, the perceived angry black woman, well, she is excelling. She's making significant strides in myriad areas, including home ownership, educational attainment, and entrepreneurship. And all of this while simultaneously fearing for her sons, who are doubly vulnerable to crime and to death by police officer. All of this while holding the hands of her man, who is disproportionately impacted by an economy that relegates him to increased levels of and underemployment and misuses government resources to make him a participant in a system of legislated victimhood. Yes, some black women are angry, and some are not. We're more complex than that, and not every expression is anger. The difference is how those expressions of emotion are perceived, validated, and responded to. I, for one, am one for self-definition. So when someone says, I have anger, I say, yes, I do. Because in response to foolishness, I say that I am addressing negativity with grace and expressing my reality. I'm Max Christie, and this is The Life Project. Thanks for watching.